Jesus didn't walk this earth to be exalted. He came to serve, to heal, to love. His life was a testament to what it means to truly give oneself up for the sake of others. Greetings to you, dear listener. In the midst of our often chaotic and turbulent lives, there are moments that call us to pause, to reflect, and to seek a deeper understanding of our purpose. Today, I want to share with you a story, one that touches the very essence of our faith in Jesus Christ. It's a story not just of teachings, but of living those teachings, feeling the weight of them, and ultimately experiencing the quiet peace that comes only when we embrace His love. This is a story that has changed my life, and I hope it will touch yours as well. There came a moment in my life when I decided to seek refuge in the solitude of the mountains, hoping to find answers to the questions that had been stirring within me for so long. The path was difficult and the climb steep, but in those moments of struggle, I felt as though I was being led to something greater, something more profound than I could have ever imagined. On the summit of that mountain, I met a man. He was not one of great renown or fame, but his presence was one that commanded attention. He was simple, humble, and yet radiated a peace I could not understand. He was a man who had devoted his life to following the teachings of Jesus, not just in word, but in the way he lived. This was no ordinary man. This was a man who had embraced the life of a true disciple. As we sat together on a quiet rock, he shared with me his journey, one that mirrored the path of Christ, a path of suffering, of sacrifice, and of love. The way of Christ, he said softly, is not an easy path. It is one of great challenge, but it is also the path that leads to true peace. I listened intently as he spoke of his struggles, of the nights spent in solitude, the moments of deep prayer, and the times he had to sacrifice his own desires for the sake of others. He told me, Jesus didn't walk this earth to be exalted. He came to serve, to heal, to love. His life was a testament to what it means to truly give oneself up for the sake of others. These words struck deep within my heart. I had always known of Jesus' love, but hearing it spoken in such a personal, intimate way made me realize just how far his love went. He was not just a figure to be admired from afar. He was a living example of what it means to love unconditionally, to serve selflessly, and to forgive wholeheartedly. The man continued, when Jesus called his disciples, he didn't promise them a life of comfort or ease. He promised them a life filled with purpose, with challenges, but with the presence of God at every step. And in that presence, they found peace. Not the peace of the world, but a peace that surpasses all understanding. I felt a stirring within me. His words, simple yet profound, began to take root in my soul. It was then that I understood. Jesus does not promise us a life without trials, but he promises us his presence through it all. He is with us in our struggles, in our joys, and in our pain. And through his love, we find the strength to carry on. The more I listened, the more I felt a connection to something much greater than myself. I realized that faith is not just about what we say or what we believe, but how we live it out every day. The true test of our faith lies not in the easy moments, but in the difficult ones. The moments when we are called to sacrifice, to serve, and to love without expecting anything in return. As we parted ways that day, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace, a peace that could only come from knowing that Jesus Christ is always with us, guiding us, loving us, and calling us to be more than we are. His love is not conditional, and his grace is infinite. In his arms, we find rest. In his teachings, we find our purpose. Dear listener, I urge you to embrace the path that Jesus has set before us. It is not an easy path, but it is the path that leads to true freedom, the freedom to love, to serve, and to be the light in a world that so desperately needs it. Trust in him, follow him, and know that no matter where life takes you, Jesus is always there, walking beside you, offering his love and peace. Amen.